Hi, and welcome to another weekly Wednesday Kickstarter roundup from Rule of Carnage. Been a very quiet week on Kickstarter this week. I think we finally properly hit the Christmas slowdown. So we've just got a small handful of projects this week. And in fact, this will be the last roundup for the year. We'll restart in January when projects will start picking up a bit and there'll be a solid amount to actually round up on. So for this week, we've just got 4 STL file campaigns, normal ones, and 1 pay what you want. So we'll just round these up really quickly and get on with it. So first up for those STL file campaigns, we've got Modudroid by James Watkin. So this is a fun little project that is struggling to reach its funding goal, and I think that's very much because of the time of the year that it's chosen to launch. It's a handful of modular droids, servitors, and what's nice about this is the modular sets range sort of how droid-like, how cybernetic versus how sort of, you know, potentially human the minis actually are. So you can have them these sort of tracked or clawed creatures, or fairly normal looking people with replacement arms and bits and pieces. So it's a nice handy modular set of a small group of droids. I think you could happily make sort of maybe up to 10, but around sort of 5 or 6 sort of solidly different looking guys out of this. And these would be handy for a range of, I think, miniatures agnostic, sci-fi gaming, where you're looking for some sort of, droid, cyborg, creature to be within a warband, or a small sort of cybernetic or droid-like warband. Lots of options. It's a nice little project. It's a handy little set of STLs. It's a pity that it's struggling, and it only needs a handful more backers to go over the line. So fingers crossed things are going to pick up for them. They are going to run until just after Christmas, so they might see a little bump, but you know, it's a hard time of year. Okay, next up for STL files, we've got Grand Duchy of Warsaw, Horse, Foot and Regimental Artillery by Rafał Polkowski. So this is a campaign that shows you can still do well even in sort of the run-up to Christmas on Kickstarter. It's done very nicely for itself, well over the line, and I think it's going to have a solid finish. It's a campaign for some Napoleonic miniatures, as I say, the Grand Duchy of Warsaw, and there's a huge number of minis in this campaign. Yes, artillery, officers, foot troops, horses. Really, if you're a Napoleonic gamer, if you're looking to pick up a solid force, if you don't already have Warsaw troops, this is an easy campaign to back. A solid, large army's worth of minis here, with all of the detail and sort of elements that historic gamers are going to expect. So an easy back, I think, for a historic gamer, you know, certainly for a Napoleonic gamer. I think for other gamers, well worth having a little look over. There's so many troops in this campaign. There's a lot of modularity there. The troops are available in bits and pieces, so there is definitely an opportunity for kit bashing. So I would say that if you are, you know, a gamer of something like Sludge or Turnip 28, any of those alternative history sort of set games, I think there's a lot of opportunities in here to get these, kit bash them, mess about with them, do something fun and interesting. Lovely, lots of detail, really nicely sculpted for the scale. I think there's plenty you could get in there and, you know, mess around with and do something interesting with. So worth checking out. Huge number of STLs in the campaign, so lots of opportunities and lots of options there. Well worth giving that one a look over. Okay, next and last up for our STL standard files this week, we've got The Deserter's Forest by Son. So this is a repeat creator that we featured a few times on the channel. They always do really lovely terrain with lots of sort of character and feature to it and good size sets, and this one is absolutely no different. So this is a sort of a forest based settlement with the buildings raised up into the trees. It's got lots of raised walkways, lots of balconies, and a real sort of sense of character and place. A really, really lovely set of buildings, I would say. So if you're looking for a sort of filling out a table with a very characterful within the forest settlement, whether that's going to be for fantasy because you're doing something like wood elves, or if you're trying to play out something in a sort of sci-fi setting where you've got, you know, sort of creatures who live within the forest, sort of a version of your Ewoks or something of that nature, I think this would be absolutely excellent. Loads of character, loads of feature, loads of detail. As I say, a repeat creator, a reliable creator, a solid guarantee for Kickstarter. And again, I think that this is an example of how a campaign can still do well this close to Christmas. They've got lots of backers. I think that because they've got a solid following, because they put out really solid stuff with loads of detail and a great look. So well worth checking out if you're looking to fill out a battlefield, fill out a tabletop with some really sort of interesting and unusual buildings. Okay, that's going to be it for the standard STL files this week. As I say, very quiet on Kickstarter. We're just a few weeks from Christmas, so it's gone to a real slowdown. But we do have a Pay What You Want file, and our Pay What You Want file is Kakuklu's Guardhouse, Pay What You Want, by Ben. So this is another repeat creator, and one that we have featured previously on the channel. And this, for a Pay What You Want campaign, is an absolutely stunning file. I was looking through the campaign trying to see how much of the features and the bits and pieces you weren't going to get on the Pay What You Want level. It's all available on the Pay What You Want level, which makes this an amazing file for a Pay What You Want campaign. It has upgrade levels, but therefore previous campaigns from this creator, all of which are excellent and well worth upgrading to. And if you're not an owner of a 3D printer, there is a physical reward level available on this campaign. So you can get the Guardhouse pre-printed and sent out to you, which I think is an excellent idea. The Guardhouse itself is an excellent building. It's got sort of escape passages, detailed elements within. It really is lovely. I think this would be great for particularly any narrative gaming. So something slightly lower model count where you can really get in and interact with the elements of the building, the bits and pieces within it. It's a really lovely piece. I think it's well worth looking over, well worth checking out. It's almost like a Christmas present this creator's giving to everybody. Okay, that is it for this roundup and for this year. It's been a really good year on Kickstarter. I've loved doing roundups all through the year, and I will start again the second Wednesday of January. But there's such a slowdown now. I don't think it's going to be super helpful to keep rounding up for the rest of December and the start of January. So we'll bring everything together and do a big roundup when we come back after the new year. For now, I wish everybody a happy festive season. I hope you've enjoyed the channel so far. There's still going to be Saturday design chats with myself and Mike Hutchinson all the way through Christmas and into the new year. So I hope you enjoy all of those. But for now, from me, it's going to be a Merry Christmas and a thank you and goodbye from this episode of Rule of Carnage. So thank you and goodbye. Bye-bye. Goodbye.